fingers crossed, as long as we have everything ticked and everything working, we will be launching next Monday. We are in the final throes of the live production testing. So you may get peculiar reports of something or another, but don't worry, it's just as we're making our way through, and we are ensuring that everything is correct before we press go live. We're doing that for you. So, Simon, are we happy to continue? Are we confident?
Go for it.
Yeah. Okay. So we are here. So over to Simon for your first introduction to self-appointment on the phone this time.
Yeah, so our plan today really is to talk you through the whole end-to-end process. So from a lead joining, filling in the form, through to actually applying for credit and ordering their welcome kit, and just talking you through exactly what that looks like. So in terms of getting an account number, it's so simple as it's ever been before. It's these steps, fill in your basic information, you'll get a code via email. Once you've got that in, you put your address in, put your password in, and then you get an account number. Really, really simple. This can happen in 30 seconds, 1 minute. We've kind of removed all the barriers. So in the first step, if your email and phone number belongs to an existing representative or it belongs to an existing lead within the system, you'll get blocked. But all those other blockers that we currently have in Avon Grow that sometimes get confused and sometimes mean you get people stuck in the system, they've all been removed. So effectively, email and phone number are the only blockers. If obviously there's an issue there, like it's looking for an account and that account number doesn't exist, they can just use a different email address and that will actually push them through the system. So we've removed as many barriers as we possibly can. Step 2, I just want to be very, very clear. We won't have any SMS with self-appointment. This is because we're moving to a global model. It doesn't mean we're not going to get SMS back in the future, but for the start of self-appointment, it will be just email verification only, because that's how the other countries work and we have to follow suit. But we will, we love SMS, so we'll try and push for that in the background. Address, we've fixed all those issues that we had before. So Evelyn Reg, really helps out with lots of examples of things that go wrong with flats and things. So they've all been removed. So again, you shouldn't have any problems there. Passwords, all fine. That's all some really nice bits there. But the really important part to say is that every single representative would join as a pay-as-you-go rep. So I think we've mentioned this many times. So effectively, they're all joined without any credit. So a 0 credit representative. And then they can apply for that through Avon On. So when we get to this final step here, where they normally would go through to the rep website to order their kit, the new call to action is we click on a button and then pushes them through to Avon On or to download Avon On. So we move on to the next slide and we'll just show you what that looks like. So they click on that button, and so instead of going through to order their welcome kit, they'll be taken to this page on the left, which basically gives them the option to download Avon On from the Apple Store or from the Play Store. So they download Avon On, they log in obviously using the account number and password they just created. They get a lovely video from Sarah Davies talking about obviously the benefits of joining Avon, that she's there to hold their hand throughout the whole journey. Once they've watched that video, they then get taken through to what we call our new rep tutorial. And this will be completely redesigned from Monday. And it's really, really clear. So step 1 is select your account. So when they click into this, they'll see a lovely video talking about pay later accounts, pay as you go accounts, and how to apply for those. And we're going to touch on that a bit more in detail in a second. Step 2 is ordering your kit. Step 3 is starting to sell. So this talks about the paper brochure, digital brochure. We've got some lovely videos. 4 is Kickstart. So what's Kickstart all about? How do you earn in Kickstart? 5 is Avon Rewards, and then 6, you obviously can't see at the bottom of here, is a push through to Avon Academy, so if they want to learn more. So we move on to the next slide. We'll go into a little bit more detail about each of these sections. So is this you, Lucy, talking about these, or is this me? I can't remember now. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, someone thought it was funny. Okay. No, so you're covering pay later, and then I'm covering the next one.
Okay, absolutely perfect. So step 1 then is all about selecting your account. So it's really clear right at the top of their new rep journey. They click in and then they see a beautiful video which explains, how everybody starts as a pay-as-you-go rep. What that means, obviously, you need to pay for your orders as you place them. It talks about the benefits of being a pay later representative, so getting a credit account, and then talks to them about exactly how they do that. And it's really, really simple how they do it. So on the bottom of this page, there's a button they press to apply. They click apply, it takes them through to our external provider called Verif. Verif will ask them to provide one form of ID, which could be a passport, driver's license, ID card, if they're obviously from a different country. originally, and then they can take a selfie, and then what happens is the system basically just compares the photo on the ID to their photo of themselves, checks that obviously the date of birth and all the information they provided matches what they provided when they first signed up. So really, really important you get them to put their proper name in that first sign up page. And then right at the end, you know, hopefully at the end of it, they'll come out with a congratulations, you've now received your credit account or your pay later account. In these circumstances where perhaps the name doesn't match the original documentation, then potentially they'll get a message just to say, you know, unfortunately we can't approve you on this occasion. You could try again or contact a call centre. And there's some really nice codes there, so the call centre can support them if there's any problems. And it's as simple as that. Then as soon as that's gone through, their account gets upgraded to a pay later account, so with a credit account, and then obviously they can then go on to order their kit, which I'll pass on to Lucy. Next one.
Beautiful. Yeah. Can I just point out, by the way, that I did have Simon's photo in the selfie section, but he keeps taking it back out. So it's so welcome to Avon. Welcome to your beautiful kit. So as Simon said, we've got the new improved menu section in the Avon on New Rep tutorial. So they simply go to step 2, order your kit. They then go to a section where they can click the button that says order your kit. And then continuing along that journey, they then click where it says order kit. So it's quite self-explanatory. And then they go to the same screen as you guys can see at the moment. So that remains the same. So they get the same welcome kit options. They have the welcome power pack, or the welcome kit, both of which are available with or without books. So that hasn't changed. And then, of course, what we will show you is all the videos, because I can see the questions are coming through. But within the video, it actually shows them, if they are a pay-as-you-go account, how that welcome kit process works and how they go to make a payment to get that kit to them as quickly as possible. Obviously, if they've applied for credit, so they've got a pay later account, then that will go through with the same payment period and terms as we've got at the moment. But we will come to that in a bit. But that is the welcome kit process, super duper easy. So the brand new onboarding videos. Victoria Holston is going mad for this in the comments, because we've had conversations for 3 days about videos, and I'm like, bide your time, Vic, they're on their way. So these are what the new videos look like. So within that menu, we've got really top line simple, as you guys know, with the first version of the new Rep tutorial that we launched in April, we had some issues where people weren't showing that they completed, and a lot of that was down to the fact that they needed to drop down for a bit of extra text. We have completely changed that now, so it matches on Simon's Android and my iPhone, so we know that it works for both, so that none of those kinds of issues have the same problem. We've also added into the end of each video a little instructional on where to close it, so that it will then show on your reporting on Avon Office that they have completed it as directed. So you can see here option 1, obviously, as Simon said, we've already got the beautiful welcome to Avon video from Sarah Davis, which has replaced our global one. So it's nice to have that little bit of UK specific in there from our chief inspiration officer. Then we've got select your account, so which is the pay as you go or pay later. And as Simon explained, it's what's a pay as you go account, what's a pay later account, how to apply for a pay later account. And what we've done, answering some of the questions in the comments about, are we going to get this? Yes, and we've loaded the YouTube video links to this PDF, so you'll be able to click onto them. And as we've sent them to Terry, and as Terry has put in the comments, they are also available on Avon Academy. But please, 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 although you guys are going to have that access to those videos, please encourage your reps to follow this process within Avon On, because it's going to make sense for them, and it gives them the opportunity to watch all of it and understand all of it. So that's step 1. Step 2, ordering your kit, which we've just gone through. So it not only explains what the welcome kits are. It explains how to maximize their welcome kits, how to pay for their welcome kits, what to do with their welcome kits, and how to order their welcome kits. So it's all quite self-explanatory in the video. Step number 3 is step number 3, you'll see that there's 2 videos on here. It's not a typo, it's the same section. So we've got, you'll be pleased to know, we've got the paper brochure and we've got the digital brochure, and we've been able to split them now with these enhancements so that we've got bigger videos for both. So the paper one is all about how to prepare your brochures. We've even got how an order form looks, how to write, what to write on an order form. So they're not investing straight away on stickers or anything else that they can buy on the internet, a lot of which they don't need straight away. They just need to be able to know how to fill a form in. So how to, there's a typo on this, this slide, for which,
apologies.
We will address that before this goes any further. So Simon's like, oh, hang on. All right. So we've got how to collect their brochures, how to process an order on Avon On. And what we felt was a key part as well, I know from what I see, hundreds and hundreds of tiny little orders that have been processed through. So we're actually, right, okay, so you've started placing order. Do you want to maybe get some more orders, save your order, and then how to go back in and open up the saved order? So they're not placing lots of different ones. We've also got in there all about the delivery. So yes, they are entitled within Kickstart to 2 free deliveries with standard orders over £40 for per campaign of Kickstart. But also, if they want to order more, they can order more, but be aware that there are delivery charges from £3.50 upwards. So over to the digital brochure. So this takes a lot of the kind of information that we've done with those how-to digital brochure videos that we brought out to you guys. So what we've done is we've been able to really build on the sharing their digital brochure whilst they're waiting for their kit to arrive. So they've activated themselves in that campaign with a welcome kit. So we want to make sure that they can start making those sales straight away while they're waiting for their books to arrive. And what we've also implemented in there, integrated into there, is how their customers will actually shop. So it shows them screen by screen how they will shop on digital brochure, but also the options between direct delivery or rep delivery and how to switch that on and off. So we've tried to cover everything we can possibly think of into each of these videos with some beautiful music. Yes, anyway, so Simon's like, move on, Lou. So Kickstart, this has been my dream. However, when I put everything that I wanted to put into Kickstart in one go, it was over 4 minutes. So we may have had to have pared that back slightly, but within it, it's Kickstart. So this is how your first campaign works. This is how your second campaign works. This is how your third campaign works. And this is what happens when you go into your fourth. How Kickstart works, the levels, the Kickstart rewards, they get an email, they click on that, they pick it. So all of that is within that Kickstart one. I will warn you, the Kickstart music is quite evoking. And then the last one is an overview of Avon Rewards. So it gives them an overview of the different levels, shows them where they track it, because as we know, we talk to a lot of our Kickstart reps and they go, oh, I'm gold. No, you're not, you're level 3, because obviously they're still within Kickstart. So it explains about how they're tracking for Avon Rewards once they graduate. And it also has some lovely slides on Hall of Fame if they want to be your next top seller, and about Beauty Advisor, because of course if they want to build their knowledge and boost their sales, then Beauty Advisor is an amazing way to do it. So without further ado, would you like to see one of the videos? I'll assume yes. I know Victoria would. There we go. Thank you, Sharon Carrera, the first yes in the comments. That's what I like to see, a bit of encouragement. There we go. Okay, so this is pay as you go. So this would be option 1. Inspirational music.
Oh, we can't hear the inspirational music.
Can't hear anything.
No.
Might be a good thing.
I'm enjoying it.
You
Everyone's
probably need to
concentrating.
reshare with your computer audio.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's because I had to jump back in, Suzanne. That's what it was. I jumped back in and went straight back into share. But
I wanted to hear this music.
I know.
We'll
but
share
we'll
afterwards.
We'll share afterwards. I am shouting over it, but I can tell you that it's marvelous. But
we will believe you.
We haven't gone down the electric pop like we did last time. We've gone for more inspirational shopping centre.
Please tell me it's the Avon On Call song.
Pardon?
Please tell me it's the Avon when. No, I love that song.
Oh, it's painful.
No, it's chirpy. And this is all the bit with Simon showing. This is the steps for verification. I'm loving the comments.
Yeah, me too. It's really good.
We've tried really hard to make it as simple as possible so someone can just pause it, they can reread it, it's just in one place, and then if we need to do any updates, then we can take those videos off and we can reapply a new one. And then you can see there's the click the X at the end, which will help us with them showing the completion. Can everyone now hear me fully? Because I've been shouting the whole way through. I apologise. Yeah, everybody happy with that? It's
loud at your end.
Yeah, it's very loud at my end. Yeah, it was happy?
It's really
excellent. Good. Okay, so we're going to go over to final reminders. Now, this is the chance for everyone to... Oh, thank you, Amanda. She's clapping. I like that. So we are going over to final reminders and question time. Now, we're very conscious of the fact that there are 192 of you on the call. So with any of these calls, if we do end up with it being massive, we will just quickly record another version and make sure that that's posted out for everybody. But we are going to run through our top facts for you all first, and then we'll obviously open it up. Nikki, are you on for the questions?
I can do questions after. Yeah, I'm here. I'm watching them. Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. We've got into a routine as the three of us for doing this, so that's brilliant. So, okay. So our final reminder. So we are going to have an outage as long as everything goes right in the next 48 hours, 72 hours. You know, as long as it's fine, we will obviously keep you all in the loop. We will ensure that we have an outage just to make sure that we can update all the technologies and all the platforms without you getting inconvenienced. But we will come out with a final confirmation of that to all of you as soon as we give the final go ahead. Now, please do bear in mind, we did say, and we have promised all the way along, that we would give you guys access for you to be able to experiment and try the process out yourself, the verification process. Now, we have discovered through our initial testing, and this is just we're a very open and honest team, so we're just going to tell you as it is. We discovered when we got lots of people testing it at the same time that it didn't like it. So what we're doing is we're giving it to people here, there, and everywhere for them to test it, but we're sort of doing it in batches. So if you would like to give it a go over the next, and as you are the guys who've taken the time to come on the call, you get first dibs. So if you would like to message Simon and I on Facebook, put a comment in here to say that you want to be involved. And we can obviously send you that information out for you to give it a go. So we'll do it in batches. So if you don't hear from us straight away, we're not ignoring you. It's just that we're on batch number 27 and we need to get to batch 28. But we want to make sure that everyone gets a go. So I'm
just on that, Lucy. Just quickly, if you can message on Facebook as well, because it'd just be great to have that quick backwards and forwards with you. So please message on Facebook, and then start kind of like sending you links and things to play
Yeah,
around with.
absolutely. 'Cause I think everyone's super keen. They're all saying yes. So yeah, absolutely. As Simon said, put it in Facebook, because then we've got a track then as well, aren't we?
Yeah,
We can get to a
thank
certain
you.
number and we can sort of log to go. So so as we've said, we are going to be having an outage. But we will keep you guys posted, because can I just say as well, by the fact that I love the fact that we've already got hands up ready. So it's like, Lucy, stop talking, and then I'm going to start asking questions. But guys, it's me, and then it's Simon, and then it's you. So your old PRPs will immediately close. So any leads that you've got in your old PRP box will be deleted. So this is in your old PRP, so your rep website PRP. Any leads that click onto your old PRP will be sent to your new self-appointment form. So we've got that built and in place. So it will transfer over. However,
You want some money in Renovate Road?
Suzanne, would you thank you. So to activate this process, and we did bring this up on the last one, I think it was Jane Philpott who lovely who asked, for us to activate the process, you must have opened your Avon Grow PRP and shared it at least once. It needs to be able to pick up that has been used for it to be able to do that transfer. So if you've been clinging on to PRP and you haven't used Grow yet, please, please, please activate your Grow and just share it out. So your Grow PRPs will become self-appointment PRPs. So as we said, any leads that click onto your old link will be sent to your self-appointment form. So that's fine. Tick in the box. Lovely. If you have any leads in your inbox for Grow, that you will not be able to finalize them. So what we've done is we've actually included pictures into the new FAQs, which we've worked on and finalised, and it actually shows step by step how to reject them if you've not rejected one before, because I know it doesn't feel natural to be rejecting leads, but you will need to reject them for them to be removed from the database so that they can reapply and self-appoint. So you're not losing them, we just need to remove them for them to be able to reapply on the new process. Just to confirm again, once we move into self-appointment, we won't be able to do any transfers of leads. So as leads join, they join in 1 minute, under a minute, 60 seconds. There is no longer that option to transfer leads. And there will be no recruiting into the future campaign. So any order will activate that rep into the current campaign. Over to you, Simon.
Yep. So really quick one again. So as we showed right at the beginning, all reps will now appoint themselves in under 1 minute. So to get an account number is so easy. All the barriers have been removed, so we can get them through really, really easily. A big change, obviously, after appointing, they'll be directed to download Avon instead of going through to the, I don't know, instead of going through to the Avon website, because obviously we want them to apply for credit, and that's only available in Avon On. So we're going to be pushing them through to Avon On at that point. Just so you know as well, I think about 92% actually use Avon On anyway, so it's not going to be a massive issue. And obviously when they log into Avon On, they can immediately pay for a pay later account. They have all that ID for external agency. They share that one form of ID and take a selfie, and it takes about 1 to 2 minutes. That decision's immediate, and obviously it goes onto their account straight away. And just finally, the hot leads eligibility is changing. So at the moment, it's just coordinators. That's been for a few months now. We're moving back to all leaders, because in theory, we're going to have more representatives coming through the system, because I think the conversion rate is about 30% at the moment. So actually, we'll get more people coming through because they can just appoint themselves. The 250 is exactly the same as it currently is. 75% G1 activity, so that's moved up by 5%. And then appointed within 1 or 2 of the last closed campaigns. So just changing slightly, and that will go live when we fully go live with self-appointment. So that is it. So should we open up some questions then?
I think so. Nikki, should we go with our 5?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Should we go with the 5? Yeah, I was just going to say we'll go with the 5 that we've got flagged first. You've got the hands up, and then we'll go through written, if that's all right with you, Nikki. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure there's some of the same things. I think one of the biggest ones here is ID, so I'm assuming someone will ask that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you. So we're going to start with Claire Bennett, please.
Morning, guys. Morning. Thank you.
Okay.
I was just wondering, obviously, there's going to be an outage and it's saying like our old link. So do we have to delete and reinstall the app in order to get the new link? Or is that just going to automatically work?
Yeah, automatically works. So basically, when we come back up again, what will happen is somebody clicks on your Grow link or your old GI3 links. They just take you through to the new self-appointment form.
Right,
So you don't
it's
need to do
just
anything.
the same link. Right,
Yeah,
perfect.
absolutely. Yeah.
And can you place orders without ordering a kit? So if
No.
you just want brochures? No, so it's going to be the same as it is now. You've got to
Yeah.
order a kit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
That
everything,
was it.
Claire?
That was it.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Very efficient. Thank you very much. Lovely. Right, over to Reg and Evelyn.
So Simon, clearly Avon On will change for the new starters.
Yep.
How will it look for people who are currently on Kickstart and for people who aren't currently on Kickstart?
So they will get exactly the same screens so as what we just showed you there. So then they can just go through them and see the new videos. If they're not on Kickstart, so if they're out of LOA 4 or above, it will just look like normal Avon On, to be honest. The new rep journey is just there for the first 3 campaigns, but we'll give you guys visibility in Avon Office. We'll create a section in there that shows you exactly what it looks like from their point of view.
Okay, thank you, Simon.
Thanks, Reg.
Perfect. Thank you. Jackie Jones.
And right, sorry, but I can't write in the text. Can we stay on the line while they fill the form in, like I do now?
Yeah.
While they download the Avon On and everything.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Stay on the line. Yeah.
Absolutely.
What if they don't have photo ID? No passport, no driving license.
I'm expecting everyone else to put their hand down now because I think this is going to be the biggest question.
Does this mean straight away or like at all? So no
I mean, at
photo
all.
ID?
I've got quite a few that got no photo ID at all. So I see 3 different forms of addresses.
So the company we use, they deal with all the banks and they do this for lots of other organisations. Apparently, it's about 95% they believe has a valid ID in the UK. If they don't, we do have a separate process which we've put in the FAQs. It's not as a friendly process. It sends it off to our call centre. They process it, but it could take a few days to a week. But we'll be asking for like proof of address within the last 3 months, 2 forms of that, and obviously any other questions the finance team feel is necessary.
Yeah, because as I
Also,
say, I've had 2 in the past 3 months that I've had no photo ID.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does occasionally come up. I think the thing is, this is the whole idea of what we've done with self-appointment is we've really opened it up so more people can join. We've removed so many barriers now so that more people can join, but as cash accounts. So in the flip side to that is it is a little bit more difficult potentially for some people, as those you've just mentioned, Jackie, to get a credit account, a pay later account. One of the main things is, and as Simon said, we have put it's the FAQs, is that the new reps will be contacting that particular email address themselves. So it's not the sales leaders doing it. You're not sitting there on the phone to collections. You're not emailing through to compliance. You're not trying to do any of this. It's their ID. They go direct to that department and they produce physical evidence that they can give in replacement of photo ID, and then it's down to our finance department as to whether we give it to them or not. But it just streamlines, because yourselves, there's so many different versions that people do. Some people phone compliance, some people email, some people phone finance, some people phone the main, some people go through their BDSs. There's emails, WhatsApp, carrier pigeon, so many different. This is the simplification for you guys and for that new rep. Okay, you haven't got any, you've been turned down, lovely, let's do this process for you. But in the meantime, you have still got this pay as you go account, and this is how it works until the application is processed.
Right. And you said that messages on Facebook, which Facebook group?
Oh no, just us personally.
Personal, yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Okay.
so just to me or Simon. Pick,
yeah, that's fine.
It's like Sophie's choice. Which one of us do you message? I understand. My ego is prepared for the fact that everyone is going to message Simon. It's fine. Lovely. Thank you,
Okay,
Jackie.
thank you very much.
I think a bit of both
Thank
there,
you.
Lucy.
Yeah, so we're going to go to Steph next, and then Henry, and then we're going to go to Nikki with all the questions in the comments. All right, if that's all right with everyone else. Lovely. Steph?
Yeah, hi. So as we know from system upgrades in the past, sometimes there's a few hiccups, and some of us might be doing recruitment fairs like I am pretty much immediately as soon as this is supposed to come on board. Am I safe to presume that the backup for this is literally just writing down the new people's details and there's no actual system backup for this if there is a hiccup when it's launched?
Yeah, do you want me to answer? So there's a lot of things to talk about here. So there's different parts to this journey. So in terms of signing up to get an account number, that's a tried and tested process that works well in lots of other countries. So I'm hoping we won't have any problems there. So actually getting them an account number, getting them onto your Avon office should be problem free. The Get Credit part is new to the worldwide business. So we are literally the first market to launch this. So that's the bit that probably we're being a bit more cautious with. We are testing that so much behind the scenes, which is why we've asked for you guys to kind of support us there. But obviously we're there to support. So if you have any problems, report them to the Relationship Centre. We've got a slide in a second, which we'll talk through. But we will do everything we possibly can to get you, back on track as quickly as possible. And obviously in the worst case scenario, we would always roll back to our previous solution if we had to, but ultimately we want to move forwards and try and get this in. But we've done lots of testing. We'll definitely be there to support if we can, but we'll show you the slide in a couple of seconds.
Okay, so hopefully it'll be working as we expect. If it doesn't, make note of the issues, contact those that we need to, and then in the moment while we're stood there with the person, take the liberties to explain whatever we need to and just manually make note of their details.
That's brilliant. Thank you, Stephanie.
Please rest assured, Steph, sorry to jump in, Simon.
Okay.
We are saying we are launching on the 3rd. If we're not happy with this, it's not happening. We are not going to throw our entire sales leader team under the bus. So if it's not working, it's not happening. This is why we didn't launch in December as originally planned. We wanted to ensure that it was going to work for all of you. And as Simon said, the only bit that we've delayed with is just because we're trying to test as much as possible the credit application. Everything else is working. It's just the credit application. We want to make sure we're ticking it off. I just wanted to back you up with that, Simon.
No, it's a third party at the end of the day, and we have to make sure that everything's working the way it should be working.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, both of you.
Yeah. No problem. So we're going to go to Henry, and then once we've spoken to Henry, we're going to go to the questions with Nikki. So prepare yourself, Nick.
I'm ready.
Thank you,
ready.
Nikki.
Excellent. Thank you. So Henry, over to you. Oh, Henry, unmute, my dear, please. There you go.
Hello there. Hi. Jackie and asked most of the questions I wanted to ask. However, one thing that I'm looking at is when reps want to apply for what we used to call a credit account, so it says on here, take a selfie and obviously one photo of their ID. Now, is the form of ID, photo ID, going to be expanded? Because I've had a lot of people in the past who don't have a passport, don't have a driving license, but they've got a work ID, as in NHS or other sort of things, but they've actually got a work ID with their photo on it.
Yeah, so it's things like disabled badges as well, don't they? They have photos on. So Simon, it's
and
very
this does come. Sorry,
that was Jackie just saying bus passes.
Yeah, so. I think the company we use have to use the official ID. They're a global company, so they kind of work through them. It doesn't mean they won't add more to it in the long term, but at the moment it is the official kind of like passport, driver's license, and then national ID cards.
Yeah, and we do have their list as well, which I believe is in the FAQs because we put it in last time, but we'll double check that that's in there. But it does give the full list of what Verif as the third party do accept.
Yeah, it's just I've often been asked that, why is my work ID not any good? Because it's got my name, it's got my address, a photograph on it, etc. So that's a question I'm sure will continue to get asked.
It's an interesting one, Henry, because to be honest, we're the first market that are launching this particular part. And of course, on mainland Europe, it would have been fine because they have citizens cards and ID cards that work really well. But of course, that's not something that we have in the UK. So, in hindsight, maybe we should have pushed for something like that, but we can't. We have to go with what that third party provides.
Yeah, but foreign ID cards will work as well.
It's like it's really simple to apply for a provisional driving license. It's about £20, and they'll get it within a week or so. And that is a real alternative. They don't have to want to drive or need to drive, but it's ID that they can get.
Yeah, no,
really good advice.
Yeah, really good, Claire. Thank you.
I understand that, and you can apply for a provisional, but there's an awful lot of people who are looking to make some extra money. They don't necessarily have the 20 quid to start with.
No,
something else.
We're not saying, but Henry, we get that, and that's the photo ID. If they haven't got the photo ID, we have the backup process.
Right, and I think you explained that if they haven't got any form of photo ID that's on the list, they can then get in touch with compliance, and they'll go through the process of saying, send in you a bank statement, a proof.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
So we've got that as part of our build, and we've also got that in your FAQ. So when you get the updated FAQs out, have a good read through, because that's in there, and it is for the rep to contact that department directly with their ID.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question. On the hot lead eligibility, basically just looked at that, and just first thought is that for sales leaders to be eligible for hot lead eligibility, basically what it means is the bigger your team, the more difficult it is to get anything like that. Because we've got 20 people in your team, you only need to have 15 G1 active. If you've got 100, you've got to have 75 active at any one time. So the larger the team you have, G1, the more difficult it will be for you to get that, because quite often a lot of sales leaders I know, they're running at sort of 50 to 60, maybe even 70% activity. I don't know any sales leader.
Henry, our average is.
Sorry?
Henry, the average is much higher than 75.
Yeah.
So 75 is still on the low side.
News to me.
And certainly for our bigger teams.
Okay, all right. We'll see that. We'll see how that one works. And the last thing is, it's not going to launch. This is not going to be launched until everybody. You're absolutely certain it's all going to be all singing and all dancing. If it does go wrong, and I mean we've had that instance with the update, the last IT update, with we had out teething problems, etc. And we understand the sort of hard work gone to get that sort of sorted out. But if we do launch, and obviously it's much easier to do on a small test size, if we're doing it on a huge scale, which is what we're going to be doing.
Yeah.
If we have a hiccup and it fails, none. Please, I hope it doesn't. But if it does fail, is there any revert back to a system that can just switch back on, or are we
so I think this probably goes back to what we spoke about a second ago. So the get credit piece is the new bit for the global business. So we are testing that so much, and all the people that have already started messaging will be in touch, because ideally what we want to do is it's live in our production environment at the moment, and we want to be able to let people in and test it, and test on as many different devices with as many different people as possible. So, but then we get like almost a 95% success rate, and then we know, okay, that's great, we can go live. If we're getting like a 50% success rate, or even the 75%, we just will say we don't want to go live until you've got this perfect, because we just don't want that to happen. Doesn't mean that even if we get a 90% success rate, we go live on Monday and suddenly we find more problems. But myself and Lucy are so dedicated to fixing this as quickly as possible. You know, we've got IT on standby. If there's any problems, we will keep pushing and pushing and pushing and trying to help you obviously get through that phase. And we won't leave you hanging through that phase. We'll definitely come up with a solution. If that means reverting back, we will if we have to. But
Yeah.
ideally, we'll fix the
That's
problems
fine.
quickly.
Just the reassurance is what I wanted to hear, because we all know that when you update any system, particularly brand new system, you're going to end up with a few minor teething problems, or as it happened in October, a few major problems. And just reassurances there that if things do go a little bit belly up, there's a system we can revert back to until everything gets down.
Definitely.
Don't worry, Henry. We've got it in hand. We have been. If in case anyone wonders where we've been disappearing off to for like the last 6 months, this is what we've been doing. So thank you, Henry, for that. Nikki, would you mind? I know we've got more people with their hands up, but I'm very conscious that some people have been typing right since the beginning. So would you mind running through the questions, please, Nikki, and then we'll go back to all the hands up.
I'm going to go from bottom to top here. Is there an easy way for us to see our team activity percentage? Simon, I'm not quite sure if we've got anything on Avon Office, but on that one.
In the monthly comparison report, you've got your actives and your team size. So it's just G1 actives divided by G1 team size.
Yeah, it's also in your isn't it also in the sales leader report, the monthly sales leader report?
Can you just say that again? What did Simon just say?
Yeah, in the monthly performance report on Avon Office.
Yeah.
If you look in there, you've got your G1 in your G1 section. There's G1 actives and there's G1 team size, I think it's called. And it's just one divided by the other is your percentage.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Vicky Harrison has just put a very valid point that if anyone is unsure about their activity levels, please do reach out to your BDSs, because they're all there to support you. And, we're working together to get this done. So if you do have any of those kinds of questions, please do ask your BDS. Over to the next one, please, Nikki.
Okay. Does kit order count as account activation?
Yes. So your kit order or a digital order would both count as activation. A rep account order would also count as activating you, but of course they can't do that until they've ordered a kit. So yes, if because we've got no forward appointing anymore when we go into self-appointment, anyone who has any kind of activity order on their account will go active into that campaign.
But that doesn't stop you if you like 3 days before the end of the campaign, you can have that conversation and go, do you know what? Just place your order on the 1st. So that you can still in control of that, if you want to have that conversation.
Absolutely.
Okay, the next one kind of ties in. There was a couple on here. Do the applications time out, and what happens to them if they never go on to place their kit order?
So
what will I see as a sales leader?
So they join, get an account number. If they don't order their kit, it almost looks like what you see on Avon Office now. So you'll see an LOA 0 with no sales, effectively. So there'll be no kit orders. You can just literally still go through them, look for your LOA 0s, no order, and they're the ones that haven't placed a kit. I hope that answers that question. In terms
How
of,
long will they stay on there for, Simon?
I believe it's 3 months. Yeah.
So it's the same as at the moment. So if they've gone on, they've signed up, you've had great conversations with you believe that they're going to be the next best thing to join your team, and then they do nothing. They don't order a kit, they don't answer the phone. So after 3 campaigns, as per normal, 3 campaigns of inactivity, they will drop off.
Thank you. The next one from Vicky. Will new reps see how much they need to pay to get their order released, and will this be order total or minus discount?
So this is where it does get complicated. So obviously we are a credit business and 90% of our business is credit at the moment. So that process works very well. The kind of pay as you go process, our systems were never really set up for that. Now the future tool that's come in hopefully this year is beautiful and will handle that perfectly. So the moment it doesn't, it kind of looks like a held order. So you might need to support them. But again, the training videos we've made it really clear. If you're a pay as you go rep, once you've ordered your kit, look at that value of how much you paid for your kit. And then we explain how to then pay for their kit by going to the make a payment within Avon On. So we're really trying to guide them through, what isn't a perfect solution, but it will get better once we move to the new system in the future.
What happens if a rep had a credit account in the past, they've since paid off their balance, can they still reapply, and will they get a credit account?
So if they've so they've been processed as debt, or they've been processed.
I think so. I think it's probably someone who's had an account in the past, maybe went to debt, but they've since cleared that up. Can they reapply, and would they get another credit account?
So they definitely can. I think the only thing is if there's some slow process going in the background that makes them still look like they've got debt, that might block them, but they'll get a message and they can call the relationship centre, who will then investigate and obviously apply it if they deem that's the right thing to do. Sometimes things don't quite happen between our collection agencies and us, so they can support.
Yeah. I think that would be the same process as we've kind of got today in those instances. Okay, from Magda, and we know she's very passionate about this. Is the option of translating full process for other languages if people don't feel confident with English?
So we are the guinea pigs for the rest of the markets. So at the moment, everything is in English because it's for the UK market. And I agree with you, Magda, if we could get more into different languages, it would be amazing. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if someone's going to do something different, but I don't see why we can't take it to the global team as part of the rollout, that maybe there could be the options of us maybe interlocking with what other markets have got, so they could pick up a different language. Is that what you were going to say?
Yeah, totally. So the long-term vision is to move to this big global solution where every representative in every country works off the same back-end system, same front-end system, and things like being able to select your language is definitely in scope. It's nothing, not in the next year, but definitely it's planned for the future in terms of this big global IT solution.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Steph. You are correct. Not all of us speak English. Absolutely, we don't. But it's just how it's been set up at the moment, that we've only got the one set language, and then, as Simon said, we're trying to build whatever we can through the global rollout.
Yeah.
Next one, please, Nick.
Will current pay-as-you-go reps get the option to apply for a Pay Later account through Avon On?
Yes.
Yep.
At any point. So if they decide that they don't want to, when they first go through and they're in step one and they're like, oh, I don't want to do that, they can just decline it and they can apply later. And at any point, they can go back in and they can apply for a Pay Later account if they want to. So it's not something they have to do straight away.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Now, here's a really good one. I think it is from Victoria Holton. Is there a data capture at any point for people who half do the form and then come out of it? So they don't actually quite complete it. So they start, but they don't finish.
So after they've, as long as they get past the bit where they put their code in, so almost step 2, that will appear in your Grow leads inbox as a kind of a lead. So just keep checking your leads inbox and just make sure there's anything in there. But you know, in theory, most of them will become a rep and they'll just drop straight into Avon Office. But yeah, you'll be able to see them in Grow.
And you won't be able to activate that lead as a lead. It's just that it goes in there to capture that data for you, so you're aware.
That's really, really good. Yeah.
Well, we're very good, Nikki. This is the thing.
I know.
You know, it's like we've tried really hard. We've tried to cover every single base that we possibly can.
And you get a copy of their email as well. Yeah, so when they become a representative, you get their copy of their email. So you both get exactly the same welcome email.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Will applying for credit come before the kit? Just thinking, will videos be bypassed if the credit option is after videos?
So the credit and the pay-as-you-go, pay later does come first. But as you know, with when we launched back in April, what happens with the new rep tutorial is once they've opened and completed something, it drops to the bottom of the list, so it's still there. So they may go in a different route. They might think, oh, the lady I was talking to at the job fair where it said about welcome kit, she really wanted me to order a welcome kit. So they might go in and order the welcome kit first and then apply for credit after. But the system will catch up on itself. It's just that, you know, you'd be aware that that may be sat in unprocessed for a while, the same as it is now. We all know you have things that sit in held for a while until it's caught back up.
I think one of the important things, the videos, we've really tried to think about how to help people through the journey. But you guys, please watch the videos, make sure you're comfortable with it, because nothing's better than you talking to them and guiding them yourself. So the videos are almost a fail-safe to what you already do.
And it'd be particularly good for any new sales leaders that you've got in your
Yeah.
teams, because they may be uncomfortable or not as confident with some parts of that onboarding journey. So those videos are in place to support the sales leaders as much as they are in place to help the new representatives themselves. Do we have many more questions in the comments, Nick?
No, I think there's just a couple that I can just wrap up. This one isn't strictly a grow one, but it's probably you and Simon anyhow. Are the reps able to add bank details on Avon On? This can only be done on the website at the moment. Not strictly grow.
I thought they could, but with an update that came last year. But if it's not, if you can't see it now, then obviously no, it would still be through the rep website. But we can always push for that.
Yeah, something we need to pick up, because we are trying to use Avon On as the main tool.
Okay, so just one other. They're not necessarily questions, but it is statements about this piece where you're not appointing into a future campaign. When you appoint, that's a campaign they're appointed in. So a few comments on there about that gives the representative less time in their Kickstart programme.
Yes, it does.
Okay, and now let's have a look. Barbara is then, I'm going right back to the bottom now. Is there nothing about opening their Avon store?
So ideally, we would love to have that. I think what we try to do is keep it really simple. So with the digital brochure, you literally go, here's your link, and they can start sharing straight away. So it's a really simple, basic journey for them. The store is obviously like 20, 30 years old now, and it's really complicated to set up. It jumps around when you set up on mobile. And the Global Business purpose is chosen to keep that out until obviously we upgrade to a better store in the future. Once we do, it will be here's the link and share it. So we're really focused on paper and digital brochure to start with.
And as we're evolving, we can also take that into account with the videos and work with the training team to ensure that there's more put into Avon Academy to support that.
Yeah, we do have a video for the store in Academy, so we could probably share that one out.
Okay, just a couple of others. How will I know if I've got a new rep?
That you'll get the same email as they got. When they'll get an email sent to them, and you'll get the same email. Plus, you'll be able to see them in Avon Office and Avon Grow notification as well to say you've got a new rep.
Yeah, so we've covered all bases. If anything, we've improved it. Fingers crossed, hopefully.
Okay, from Sandra, will the prospecting form still work the same on the Grow app, or do they need to go in as a team member straight away? So
the prospecting form, so over to you for this one, Simon.
Yeah,
my opinion, so you carry on.
It's good for capturing information, and it will obviously store it on there, but you can't then progress them through to a lead. So if they do want to become a lead, you would have to reject it from your prospecting form and then send them back for your self-appointment process.
Yeah, because the self-appointment process, it is easier when you're talking to someone to give them that link and for them to follow that process through on their own device. You can do it through going in, but you won't necessarily have that form there straight ahead like you did before. That doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's the lurgy brain is not helping. Okay, any more questions, Nick? Or
one more before I go to the bottom.
Okay.
With the 2 free deliveries, does that include the kit being ordered? So they use one of their free deliveries?
No.
Okay, I knew that, but I thought you'd answer it.
The kit is still the free express order. So that comes out via as quickly as we can process it. So it's not part of those 2 free deliveries. The Kickstart terms and conditions and the program that we have at the moment will still stand when we go into self-appointment. There's nothing to say that we won't change something at a later date, but at the moment that is what we are going with.
Okay, so I'm just going through. I'll carry on looking through because there's lots of comments on here. I think between the questions that have been asked for people coming, putting their hand up, and the ones in here, I think we've pretty much covered them all. But if you want to carry on, I'm just going to carry on strolling.
Okay. Perfect, thank you. So we're going over. Zoe, prepare yourself. Thank you for your patience because you have been up for about half an hour. Zoe, you're on.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah.
I don't know if it's been answered or not, but basically the signing up for the next campaign, will that ever be coming back?
No, it's not something that we is part of the global directive. So none of the other markets have forward campaign. We were the only ones that had it. So the plan is that we will be going. It's as I said, it's improvements that we would hope to be able to make within the Kickstart program at a later date. But no.
Lucy, I just know a few of my reps. Sorry.
No, you carry on, Zoe. You've waited for ages, so yeah.
I just know that quite a few of my reps have signed up in, say, the past week of the month. But if I waited for that week till the beginning of the following month, I might lose that lead. Whereas signing them up for the following month and then making a start enabled me to get that sign up. Do you know what I mean? Sorry.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think so. So I always see self-appointment. We're moving 10 steps forward, but we're moving a little bit backwards in some ways.
Yeah.
We totally understand what you're saying, and we've flagged this many times. It's something that we'll continue to flag. But it is because we moved to this global model, and we're the only country that seems to have a problem with this. We need to probably speak a bit louder. But the more you talk about this to us, the more we can then feed it back to them as well.
I would just, Simon, sorry, just to input. What people, when they sign up and they get their account number, that doesn't trigger them as being their first month. It's when they order their kit or place their first order that triggers the campaign of them starting in Kickstart. So if it's towards the end of the campaign where I'm seeing you saying you're concerned, you can get them signed up, but if they order their kit in that new campaign, that's when it triggers their Kickstart.
Right, so they can still sign up but just not receive the kit.
Yeah,
great. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah. So if you've got
their Kickstart starts in the campaign that they order their kit.
Yeah, right, okay. Or they receive a digital order, because I think Karen's just asked in the comments, she said about personal orders. But yeah, they can theoretically be activated by personal order, but obviously to get into their rep website, they would then have to go through the welcome kit page. So it's the same as if somebody wants to be digital, they can start as a digital rep. But as soon as they receive that first order, they will activate into that campaign.
Thank you.
It's all right. Thank you.
Sorry.
Thank you very much. And thank you very much for waiting all that time. So we're going over to Diane now, because she's also been waiting ages.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Jolly good. I'm along the same lines as Zoe's question. My question is, let's supposing it was all up and running now, and somebody came on board and applied like tomorrow, which is, on the 30th, and they did their welcome pack, they would actually get the campaign 1 brochure, wouldn't they? Which would be used. Yeah, is that what would work?
So in the last 7 days of the campaign, we have the book switch over. So all kits, all books that are sent out, and all Focus magazines would switch to the following campaign. So so they would be protected by that. So even if they'd activated into that campaign by ordering their kit, they would get the books for the following campaign. So we've made sure that stays in place. So just for anyone, brilliant. Thank you, Diane. So for anyone who doesn't know, that switchover is 7 days before the end of the campaign. 7 days before. So so for example, in February, we've got 28 days this year for February, so it'll be the 21st it will switch over. So they will always have that protection.
Okay, that's brilliant. Lovely. Thank you.
No problems. Thank you. I thought Owen had his hand up, but he seems to have dropped off. Owen, are you still there? He's been waiting very patiently. No? Okay, right. We're back over to
Evelyn and Reg, I think.
Reg and Evelyn. Second time round. Hit me, Reg. Come on. No? Frozen?
Yeah, I can't see them anymore.
No? Okay. Over
we're waiting, Lucy. Can I drop in?
Yeah.
Can I jump in?
Yeah.
There's been a couple of comments on here about recruiting internationally. So as Simon and Lucy have been saying, with this process and this tool, Grow, will be used by every country globally eventually. So in terms of global appointments, you know, it's not in the immediate future, but it is something that we are discussing.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so right, we've got 3 more questions then, so we're going to go over to Alison.
Yeah, it's just going back to the self-appointment, saying that the only thing that might block is the telephone, and is it both an email and telephone, or either or that might block carry on?
One or the other. So it depends if they put one in. Yeah, but they can put a completely different one in.
Oh, okay. And also, so once they've been blocked, will they, like now, it says please phone Avon, the telephone number, will that be the same message come up?
Kind of similar. So it will say your email or your phone number is attached to an existing rep account. Please click here to log in, and it will try and send them back to the login screen. But of course, if they don't know their login details, you can always just say to them, you know, if they're definitely not an existing rep, just get them to use a different email address, or if there's some problem in the background, ring the call center and they can obviously look into it. But using a different email address or phone number will get them through absolutely fine, because everybody starts as a cash account now, so not a problem.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
But all the other strange blockers are pretty much gone, so hopefully you'll have a much simpler process these days.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hope that helps, Alison. Thank you. So I'm very conscious that you guys have now been on the phone for over an hour, so we don't want to keep everyone for too much longer. So we're going to answer the last 4 hands up, and then we're going to go to the next slide. So Maureen, you're up.
Hi guys, just a couple of questions. So when we're at job fairs currently, it's quite fast paced, especially if we're at like London events. So currently they would like fill in the bar form, do the ID check, register, order their kit. Where do these videos slot in? Are we able to like bypass them to just basically get them on and get their kit ordered, or do they have to watch all that while we're standing there?
No.
You can skip all of it. Literally, the videos are just there to signpost. And so when they get into Avon On, so you'll get them download Avon On. They can literally just skip Zara Davies if they really want to, but we encourage them to go back and watch it. And then step 1 is basically apply for credits. You just click on the button that says apply for credit and go through the process.
Yeah,
brilliant.
It's
Okay,
really simple.
Quicker for you, Maureen, to be honest, because you literally get standing there. You could be talking potentially, you know, you've got one person you're talking to, you've got 2 people behind. You can just grab their numbers, send them the link, and then you could have multiple people joining your team at the same time. And then as long as you're getting them all to download Avon On, then they can then go through that process themselves. So one person, we all know, you'll have one person who wants you to stand there and explain every single bit to them, but you'll have someone else who doesn't really want to listen. They just want to go off and do it themselves. They can have this with Avon On, which is why we've built it this way. So you don't have to have every single person watching every single thing of Avon On, as Simon said. You just need to give them your link so they can stand there and they can apply and appoint and get themselves up and running, and then download Avon On, job done.
Okay, so we literally just send them the link. We don't do any of the ID check. That's all done through the system now.
Yeah.
And then we just like talk them through it basically.
Yeah, this is literally like what we've tried to do is simplify it as much as humanly possible for the new rep and for you. You're empowering them, give them the link, you're empowering them to then appoint themselves, download Avon On, and then take themselves on their own journey with you there available to support them at every point that they need the help. But if they're a self-serve kind of person and they just want to have a look, it's there. Or if you've stood there and you've explained absolutely everything to them, and then 10 minutes later they're at home and they can't remember any of it, they can go into Avon On and they can watch the videos. So it's just trying to give them that extra information. On top of that, they've got Avon Academy, they've got your Facebook groups, they've got WhatsApp, they've got whatever else you put in place to support them. But you don't need to be worrying about writing big, massive welcome emails or any of the other kind of stuff that you might have had to have spent time doing before, because Avon On is going to do it for you.
Fabulous. Okay, just got one other question.
Of course.
So it's just following on from what a couple of the other guys have said about if you recruit them late in the month. So I understand that if they've placed a GI3 order, that's what currently activates them. A digital order currently doesn't. It's only the GI3 order. So is that changing that it will activate them?
A digital order, if you'd appointed them into a future campaign, wouldn't have activated them. But yeah, everything, because we've got no future appointing, everything will activate them now. So if you're recruiting people into late on in the campaign, they've appointed themselves, just encourage them to download Avon On, get themselves familiar, join your Facebook groups, do everything else that you would normally do with them, but them not to, they can apply for their pay later account if they want to. So they can do that and get that all ready. And then once the first of the month comes, they go straight on there, go into the order your kit section and place their order for their kit.
That's fabulous. Got it. Thank you very much.
All right. No problem.
Today's bloody birthday today.
Oh, hello. Over to crikey, don't know what's going on there. Over to you, Reg and Evelyn. Oh no, it was Julie next. I'm so sorry. I apologise, Reg. I know, right in there, and you weren't. I'm so sorry, Julie. You were next.
Hiya. Just a quickie on one of the screenshots that you showed for it's for the sign-ups process. It says start selling, and then it says underneath order your kit. Don't you think it'd be better to have order your kit above the start selling, because they're going to think that that's in a particular order?
Yep, I completely agree, actually, and we did test this in our
we did
test environment. So let's test that again in production, because it didn't work for us, unfortunately, in that QA environment. But we did want to do that. We'll see if we can do that, or we'll better reword it to make it sound clearer.
Yeah,
really good point.
I just thought that's a simple solution, because otherwise they're going to try and start selling before they've ordered their kit. And
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And it takes them through to videos and help and such like, but they're not physically going to place an order from that section within it. But as Simon said, we did try to change it round. So it's just some of the templating. So Simon's been fighting with that particular bit. There was a lot of swearing at one point. So
it's such a good point, Judy. Really well spotted.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. So now, without further ado, Reg and Evelyn.
Yes. Well, we couldn't unmute for some reason. So I just wanted to go back to a couple of Henry's points, because there were a couple of positives there which didn't really come out, I thought, in the discussion. One was about the IDs and like people not having the right IDs. At the moment, it's us telling them they haven't got the right IDs, whereas under the new process, it will be a third-party company, and therefore it will be beneficial to us in that we won't have to fight that sort of corner of why we can't use certain IDs or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's quite a positive thing from our point of view. And in response to the hot lead eligibility criteria, yes, okay, it might be difficult for big teams to get to 75%, but we're back in the pool now. We haven't been getting hot leads recently because it was restricted to coordinator level. So that's a really positive thing as well. So thank you very much for both of those.
Perfect.
Thank you, Reg.
Can I just add to that as well, Lucy, about the hot leads that we get? Guys, I want to stipulate here, we are not inundated. There aren't thousands and thousands and thousands. In this case, Simon, I think it would be lucky if it was one a campaign.
Yeah. So we're not talking huge volumes.
Yeah. We are very conscious of the fact, absolutely right, Nikki, we're very conscious of the fact that you guys bring in, the majority of our new representatives. But it's always exciting to get a hot rep when you can.
Yes, it always is. And Lucy, I just want to respond.
Sorry, could I just ask how many other countries are doing this self-appointing, or are we the first?
No, we're not the first.
So
sorry, you carry on.
Turkey and South Africa both do self-appointing, but we're the first to do the get credit piece. So self-appointing, I think there's a few other countries as well. It's just normal in their country to do it. So
how has that gone for them?
Yeah, really good. So a lot of them actually started with self-appointments. The self-appointment's actually been around for years in other countries, so they've never known anything different. Right. But all the research we've done and the global team have done, there's so many people that want to join, but they just either don't get the feet, they don't get contacted, or get contacted in the right amount of time. perhaps they don't want to speak to a leader, they don't want to give somebody ID. So we're trying to remove all those barriers to get more people in your teams. And the great point is you don't have to work two inbox anymore. You haven't got your leads over here and your LOA zeros. You've just got your LOA zeros that then you can just focus on. So it should be really, really beneficial for you guys.
That's great,
and we've been working as well. No, that's fine. We've been working as well with Romania and a lot of the other markets as well with the new Rep Journey tutorial, which we launched in April, and we've had by far the best results. We've been, I think it was 18% above all the other markets, just because, you know, it's been really, really embraced in the UK as a way. So we're now sort of almost like leading the way for the other markets as to how we're doing this new Rep tutorial as well, which is brilliant.
That's good. That's positive. That's good.
Yeah, it's really positive, really positive. And because we're leading, it means that we're listened to more. So we, which
and
always
that's thanks
helps.
to you guys, because you obviously encourage your reps to engage with it, which is really, really good.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
lovely. Thank you.
So without further ado, we're over to the last question of the session, and then we're going to go over to the last slide. So Diane, over to you, please. Oh, sorry. Oh, I'm back, but Diane's not. Okay, right. So we'll see whether Diane manages to unmute in a second, but we're just going to flip over. So we just wanted to say this is, as long as we are 100% happy to do the launch on Monday, you will have the outage from 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. So we've given a wide window for our IT team to make sure that everything is completed within time, because we know there's nothing worse than if we said, oh, we're going to be live at 10 o'clock and then it's not. So we've given them a big window to get everything done. Now, our support for you, our relationship centre team, we've been working really closely with the team leaders and the team trainers for the relationship centre to ensure that they are fully aware. So everything that you've had sent out in email, Facebook, everything that's available to you on Avon Academy, that has also been shared with them, and we've been able to develop training for them to be able to fully support with any of the queries that you get. So please, please, please do direct them. You don't need me to tell you the number. You all know it, the number on the screen, if there is a problem. But as we've said, we've tried to remove as many barriers as possible so that you don't need to call the relationship centre. So we're committed to resolving any issues as quickly as possible. So Simon and I have got a little cheeky group together with some of the team leaders from our different relationship centres around the globe. And we have our IT team all set and ready. So if you have an issue, and we're hoping that you don't, but if there is an issue, please let us know, because we need to know so that we can get it fixed. We have new updated FAQs. I think Terry mentioned she's going to get it onto Avon Academy, but we have got new FAQs. We've built a lot more into it, just because we wanted to give you guys as much detail as possible. So we would encourage all of you to read the FAQs. It's not fun, I know, no one wants to read that kind of stuff, but all of these questions that we've answered today are already in that new FAQ for you. As we've explained, and I think you've probably picked up on the theme, Avon On is the tool for your new representatives. So please, please, please do encourage them to download the app on appointment, because it's essential to them to be able to apply for a pay later account, to watch these super duper helpful videos, to be able to access the digital brochure, to order their welcome kit. All of it is within there for them. And we'd also love to collate your valuable feedback. Simon's poised and ready because I've missed something as I've gone through the slide.
No.
So
I was trying to find the FAQs.
Oh, fine. Okay. Well, we'll share them later, shall we?
Yeah.
Because we'll just make sure that we've got everything in there. So we'd love to collate your valuable feedback. So please do email us your thoughts and experiences to welcomesupport@avon.com. So it's an email address that we both have we both have access to. So please do put it in there for us, because we do want to know. If it's great, definitely send it to us. If it's bad, still send it to us, because we need to know. And then last but not least, we just wanted to say we thank you in advance for your patience whilst we implement this new technology. We all know that there's always little bugs and things that appear as we go along, so please bear with us. If something does happen, we will fix it. Is there anything you would like to add to this, Simon?
Just to say thank you. I think, like we said at the beginning, we've literally put probably about 500, 600 self-appointments through in the last few months. So we've tested this beyond belief. And that last bit with the Get Credit, we'll reach out to as many people as we can over the next 48 hours, because the more tests we can do in a live environment to make sure you're all happy, everything's working the way it should be, just because it's that greater confidence on Monday. If we do get any glitches, we would definitely do whatever we can to support you and not leave you stranded, because we want to help. We want this to be a big success and to support you to get more people into your team. So we'll do everything we can.
Fantastic. Nikki, any final thoughts from the oh, it's beautiful, Simon. We should finish with that, really. I'm sorry. Nikki, is there any final thoughts or questions from the comments? Anything that you feel we need to know?
I still think it's worth going through the questions in case I've missed any, but there's quite a lot of comments on there. Really, really positive feedback. That you guys have removed the blockers and made it that much easier for people to join the business. So yeah, lots of positive energy on here.
Perfect. Thank you very much. That's great. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We're so excited. You're excited. We really, really want this to work. It will work. But as we've said, we will communicate. We're just going to be going through these final tests because we just want to make sure everything is 100%. And we will communicate to all of you. We're going to make sure we'll be emailing all UK sales leaders, but we will also get it onto Facebook. So we'll try and keep everybody in the loop. So just look out for updates. All right. Thank you so much. Goodbye, everyone.
Thanks, everybody. Speak to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.